everyone, and welcome to 1.21 Gigawatts. I am Peter, that is Connor, and this is our weekly trailer talk show where we talk about some of the week's biggest trailers and discuss them, discuss if we're excited for the films. Sometimes we'll actually discuss the trailer itself as a piece of editing.
The way it's put together.
Yes, the art of a trailer, I suppose. Not always, not for everything, but sometimes we'll be inspired by one. Do you know what? We're actually going to sit and analyse that, or it'll be so terrible, we're going to sit and, no, this is why this is horrible as a trailer. Yeah. But that's what we do, and at the end of the show, we pick our favourite trailer of the week. We are actually a day late with this week, just because delays and stuff. This usually goes up on a Saturday. This will be late Sunday by the time this goes up. But here we are. We're going to talk about trailers. We have, I don't number these. I always just glance at them. 2, 4, 6, 8, but 10. We get 10 trailers this week. So meet your amount, and we'll headline. We start with the headline. I don't usually think too much of the order, other than I'll put the biggest one at the first. If there's a big couple, I'll put the big couple at the start, and then if there's one that's either weirder or a funnier one, I'll put that at the end. That's about
or just slightly interesting usually.
Yeah,
just something to perk us up at the end.
If it's say it's like a foreign movie, it's a bit quirky. That's not like your typical mainstream thing. That might go at the end because it's like no, something exciting at the end. It's whether it's because the movie looks good or just because the trailer's kind of funny and we get into it, but. That's usually the system when I'm just putting these in order. I mean, the ones in the middle just kind of go in the order I find them more than anything else. So we'll start with the big headliner, which is The Predator. Got a new trailer this week, and the first trailer was not a bad trailer. It just wasn't particularly exciting as a trailer. I mean, I was still excited for the movie because it's a Shane Black movie and I like Predator, but yeah. The trailer itself was just kind of it's fine. It functions, but it wasn't. This trailer actually kind of reveals what the plot is, like what what this movie is about in terms of, okay, what separates this from Predator 1, 2 and Predators.
Yeah, to a point I kind of wish it hadn't.
Really? You see, this is the thing. The reveal in this was also in a TV spot recently, and even the new poster, which is a fantastic poster, by the way, if you've not seen the new poster, it's this orange poster with a giant Predator hand holding like another Predator head. It's like a really good poster. But because they've got that in the poster, and because obviously this trailer reveals this big super predator who's like genetically modified, I have to imagine that this is not like a reveal in the last act. That this is...
It's got to be a first act thing. End of Act 1. This
is core to the premise of the movie. Like this is what the movie's about. Is the fact that someone's been tinkering and they've made a super predator, and that's what we're going to be dealing with this movie. And obviously we see it attack the regular sized predator in the trailer. I don't know if the regular sized predator just gets wiped out and that's him gone, or does he survive that? And we've got like the regular predator kind of like hunting the bigger predator, because it's like now that's the best prey, because that's like that's the ultimate. Like, can I take him down? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. You get a little bit more character. There's a little bit more banter between them. This was a red band trailer, so there was some swearing in there, and you get a sense. I think I'm still excited because it's a Shane Black movie. I think the trailer's okay. I think my biggest thing that I like about it, though, not so much in terms of the art of it being a trailer, is just that it genuinely feels really different to all the other movies. Like, it doesn't feel like they're in a jungle again. It doesn't feel like it's just a predator hunting people again. There is something. Whether or not I end up liking that thing when I see the movie, which is the genetically altered predator, and there's like the lab, and it's not just predator hunting through a city or a jungle again.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of torn because I feel like, okay, it's a Shane Black movie, right? So I should be excited, but the teaser was pretty uninspiring. Yeah. And this trailer, I feel like it just the movie looks kind of generic. And I know it's doing different things to the other Predator movies, but it feels kind of a generic movie.
And I agree with that. It's one of those. Do you know what it is though? Is like I'm still assuming that it's just the trailer, and that once I actually watch the movie, it'll feel like a Shane Black movie. And I
hope so. I do hope so. But this trailer actively made me less excited for the movie. Because, I see more now, and I'm like, okay.
Here's something. I feel like... Because The Nice Guys trailered very well, right? The Nice Guys look like a Shane Black movie. It felt like a Shane Black movie. I don't know if all of his movies have had that, though. I don't know... I don't remember what a Kiss Kiss Bang Bang trailer was like. I don't... I don't think Iron Man 3... I mean, Iron Man 3 looked fine because it looked like the next Iron Man movie, but... I don't think you watched that trailer and felt, oh, this is a Shane Black movie. But when you watched that movie, it felt like a Shane Black movie.
It did, yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's kind of what's going to happen here.
That's fair, and I'm hopeful that that's the case. But my expectations have been lowered a touch, is all.
I did see a great tweet by Jay from Red Alert Media this week, who said he'd be way more excited for this movie if it was just the characters from the Nice Guys in it. Like, you know, fighting the Predator. And you know what? I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no, that's probably true.
I would check that out. Bumbling Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe taking on the Predator does sound like a treat. I'm not going to lie.
I'd watch the hell out of that.
I'm not going to lie. And the daughter. She's important as well.
Oh, yeah, obviously. It goes without saying, though.
Yeah. She outperformed the two leads of that movie. I'd take her in a heartbeat.
Who are both great actors, so you know.
Yeah, it's Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. It's not like she's in a movie with Tommy Wiseau.
Exactly.
I mean, he would still steal the scenes, but not for the right reasons.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. No, because there's the joke in the trailer about what's his face, Kay from Kay and Peele. He says, he has a joke about one of the other guys, like, oh, if your mother was vagina was a video game, it'd be rated E for everyone. That comes off as a really awkward joke in the trailer, but it's a sort of awkward joke where I'm like, I think in the scene when it's paced properly, that might be funny.
It might. I agree here, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it felt a bit forced here, but... And the reason why I say that is because I think Shane Black, he's not as Whedon-y as Whedon is, but I feel like Joss Whedon's lines, when you cut them up and just put them in a trailer, or you have someone else direct them. You know, that's how we end up with, you know, what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning. You know, the same thing as everything else. That's the sort of thing where if Whedon directed that movie and he directed the actor saying, I feel like that would come off as a really quirky, fun line. It doesn't though. It comes off as a stupid line that makes you groan. And I think it's similar in a trailer where you just cut up his joke and you just put it in without the build up of the character and the pacing of the scene. It sucks it all out of it, and I think that may be what's happening here. I mean, I might eat my words. Maybe I'm just being too hopeful. I might just be being too hopeful. But
no, it's happened before. Yeah, because there was a couple of times I felt that specific thing in this trailer. The other one was, you know, the soldier guy getting interrogated, and he says something and nods to the guy behind the window.
Yeah.
And his little joke. I can't remember what the joke itself was, but it just didn't play right. But again, maybe that is a trailer thing.
I think the marketing have to sell this as an action movie, so they're doing all these quick cuts. They're doing like the quick quippy lines, and while they are technically quippy lines in the sense that they're going to be like wisecracking lines, I don't know if the pacing of the trailer actually fits what they're doing. So
yeah,
I thoroughly believe, I'm putting my reputation on the line, that this movie will be better than the trailers make it look. It will be better than the sum of its trailers, if that makes any sense.
No, I hope that's the case, but I'm not willing to bet on it at this stage.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not saying that because of anything I see in the trailer. I'm betting that on Shane Black. I'm betting this on the creative.
I mean, you know, his past would be of you. Odds are that you could be right on that.
Because he's someone who could, before he started directing movies, he just wrote them, and it still feels like Shane Black movies. Like, you go back to The Long Kiss Goodnight, you know, you go back to what's the name of that movie? Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans. Like, you go back to those movies, they still feel like Shane Black movies. And not just because there's scenes at Christmas. Like, there's, it's Shane Blacky, if that makes any sense.
No, he does have a tone in his dialogue.
Yeah, that even gets through in other directors. I mean, arguably, I compared it to Whedon there, but Whedon, someone else tries to direct his dialogue, it just crashes and burns, but his actually does translate through.
Yes.
So, but hey, so Predator's coming out in September. We'll see how it is. I like the Predator franchise, and I like Shane Black, so I'm still pretty optimistic, even if the trailers aren't exactly blowing me away.
I'm not down on it enough to say, I'm not seeing this. Don't get me wrong. I've gone from excited to, okay, I'll go see it.
But I will say, I did really like the just how different it feels. Like, it's not doing a similar plot. It's like, whether or not I end up hating this, or there's a lab and they've been experimenting on a predator, it is completely different from any of the previous movies, and I at least respect that, because it's like, okay, we're not just rehashing the same thing. They're doing
something, yeah.
Yeah, so I respect that. Anyway, so we'll move on to the next trailer, which is A Happiness of Monumental Proportions, which is a very big cast.
A happening, not a happiness.
Oh, did I say happening? Sorry. A Happiness of Monumental Proportions.
No, it is happening. You said happiness.
Oh, that's what I've written down. Sorry. I wrote down the wrong word. So I looked at that again. So I'll say it again, and said the exact same thing, because that's what I've written down.
Yeah.
Sorry, a happening of monumental proportions. So this has got a very big cast. It is set pretty much all at one day in a school, and we have a large cast of characters, a lot of recognisable names. I actually loved it at the end of the trailer. It went through here's everyone in the movie, and it was like skipping through. It was Jennifer Garner and Keneal and Janney and so on and so on. And then it never mentions Katie Holmes is there. It never mentions anyone else, right? And then at the end, there's just a wild Keanu Reeves just appears and looks frustrated, and then it cuts. And I was like, okay, that was my favourite part of that trailer, is that you didn't tell me Keanu Reeves was in it, and then you threw me Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I thought this was a really dull trailer.
Yeah, it looks like a. Do you know the funny thing is the trailer isn't that good, but it got to a point about 2/3 in when it started revealing more like actors who were in it, and I was like, oh wait, they're in this, and you're in this, and you're in this.
I said it was directed by Judy Greer.
It did, yeah. Which no idea what she's like as a director, but
no. But again, it's another name you recognise.
It is.
And I'm like, I feel like I should be really into this with all these names here, but I'm kind of bored.
Do you know what the funny thing is I like comedy because what part of the plot here is that two of the teachers, probably the head teacher, the principal, and the other one, they find a dead body and they try to deal with the dead body, and it seems like one of these comedies where it's all set one day in this school and there's all these different plot lines going on at the same time. It feels like one of those movies, and I like those types of movies. And like, it's funny, I'm going to say something similar to the last one, although I'm basing this nothing on just a hunch. I feel like this is also a type of film that might be much better than the trailer is. I wouldn't stake anything on it. I'm just...
No, maybe.
I've got a hunch.
My problem is I got, early on, I was like, okay, this. I'm pretty sure this is a comedy.
Oh,
just
sure.
from the tone it was striking, and then I was like, but nothing was funny in the entire trailer. I didn't laugh once, and I didn't chuckle, I didn't smirk.
No, I didn't really either. I may have smirked once. There's the kid meets the girl for the first time, and it cuts to him and John Cho in the bathroom, and he asks the kid, "Oh, your wife or whatever, is she your everything? Would you say that to her?" And he says, "If pushed, yes."
Yeah.
That made me smirk.
Fair enough, but on the whole, by the end, I was questioning if it was actually a comedy, which is probably not a good sign.
Probably not. Maybe it's just a bad script. But it's somehow... I mean, I guess it's, Judy Greer being an actress has a lot of connections and...
For pulling in all these friends.
Managed to rope in a lot of people. I guess that's what it is. I just see so many faces, and it's not an atrocious trailer. Like, it's got a pace to it. It's just... Yeah. It's just not very funny, but I see all these people, and I like all these people, and I'm like... How can this not be at least decent? How is this? This can't be.
Yeah, how can all of these people make a bad movie? That doesn't seem feasible.
I mean, I know Movie 43 or whatever it was called existed, and that was like, but that was shot in like lots of little vignettes on favors. Whereas this feels like no, they actually had like a cast all come to a set.
It does feel like that, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it looks inoffensive. I mean, I'd say that.
Yeah, well, like I said, I feel like it could be really boring.
It could, no, it very well could be. It very well could be. But yeah, so it could just be a case of the trailer's not. Showing off the right stuff.
It could be, yeah.
And again, it could be, the comedy relies on the pacing, and cutting it up and chopping it up into the trailers just not
doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, it would shock me. But I'm not staking anything on that though. I've staked my life on Predator. I'm not staking my life on this. This is just
no. You got nothing really to go on this other than the cast.
Just a hunch. Anyway, next up we get a trailer for a Netflix movie called Father of the Year. From Happy Madison Productions. It's not Adam Sandler in it. I mean, I imagine he may have a cameo, but he's not in the trailer. David Spade plays a horrible father who, upon hearing that his son was debating with another kid about who would win a fight between him and this other kid's dad, takes it upon himself to go and try and fight the other dad. And it is... Yeah. You said the last one wasn't funny. I want to raise you this one.
No, I agree. This one's worse. This is, in school where it's like, oh, my dad could beat up your dad. Mm-hmm. Someone went, hey, let's make a movie about that.
See, here's the thing, though. When you're in school and you have that debate, I don't know if I ever had that debate.
No, but it's just that thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, my dad was in a wheelchair my entire childhood, so it would feel strange for me. If I was saying that, I was really insulting their father.
And the worst part is, if someone says that to you...
Oh, I got... I had to come back. I was ready. Is that a thing where you say, "Oh, your mother," and you're like, "Oh, my mother's dead"? Like, it's just that comeback.
That is essentially that. Yeah.
But anyway, but typically when they do that in school, they're not 16. They're closer
12.
to 10.
Yeah.
Yes, there's something, you know, or younger even.
So 12 is just the go-to age for anyone who's younger than like 15. You're at 12.
No one's arguing which parents could beat up parents at 16. No one's trying to, like, I think at 16, you would never compliment your parents on anything. You wouldn't try and say, oh, my dad's a good fighter. No, you think your dad's an asshole at 16.
Yeah.
That's just such a stupid premise.
It is. I don't know why someone thought that would make a good movie.
David Spade,
I don't think it is going to make a good movie.
Looks so awful and unfunny. There's a whole section where he tries to get his son his internship back, I think, or his job back.
It's a job, yeah.
Yeah. So he's still having this debate, but he's now working. He's got a job. Anyway, he's at the firm. He's like, I'm going to. And David Spade's wearing this oversized suit, and he looks, you know, he's still like a hippie, but wearing a suit. And they're showing him VR, so both him and his son put on VR headsets, and we see like this crappy CG like.
So the worst part is, it's not even the showing of VR; it's a VR meeting room. This is how they have meetings at this company for some reason.
Then why are the animals?
I don't know.
Because David Spade freaks out that he's a deer and then runs into a wall.
It's a kangaroo.
Oh, it's a kangaroo. Sorry, I thought it was a deer. I watched these yesterday, alright? Come on.
I know, but kangaroo stuck out to me.
But and he runs into a wall. This is painfully on. This is exactly what I expect from Happy Madison Productions.
Yeah.
Painful.
Yeah, this is one Netflix movie I absolutely will not be checking.
No, not touching it. I'm not adding any statistics to that piece of shit. I'm good. And let's move on to The Legacy of a Whitetail Deer Hunter, which is Josh Brolin. And he's got a son.
He's everywhere right now.
Of course he is. He's got a son, and he's separated from the mother. So the kid's got a stepdad and stuff. And in fact, his stepdad's what's his face from Godless, the blind sheriff, Scott McNeary, I think. But he's taken away for the weekend, and he's taken him hunting. And you got Diane McBride there as well, and he's got Diane McBride with a camera. He wants him to document everything, as if this is going to be.
I think he is a TV host, like he has a TV show about this hunting, just based on the opening bit, which because it opens with like a really like 80s sort of opening TV sequence.
It's just the tone for the rest of it though. I never got the sense that he was a professional. I got the sense that this was his buddy holding a camera.
No, I agree, but like I said, that opening really makes it sound like.
Maybe this is just.
I'll look at the description, see if it mentions.
Maybe this is just a case of I can't take Diane McBride in a serious professional capacity.
Here we go. Anyway. But Buck Ferguson, famous for hunting whitetail deer, plans a special episode of his hunting show around a bonding weekend with a strange son.
Oh, okay, so here's the thing. It is kind of what I said it was. They've just been doing this together for a long time.
Yeah, but they have an actual show of this. Like, they're somewhat professional.
Oh, sure, on like Public Access 19, I'm sure. You know, it's basically the 80s equivalent of YouTube. But...
Quite possibly, yes.
But my assertion that this is a guy and his friend's holding the camera while he hunts things,
yes,
I think is pretty accurate.
He says, you know, it mentions here with trusted but hapless cameraman and friend.
Yeah, he ain't professional. I'm okay. It
doesn't seem very professional.
No, and there's lots of jokes. And basically, the story in the movie is the kid has no interest in hunting, and he wants to play on his phone, and he has all these like I don't know, progressive ideas in a sort of comical way. And Brolin's frustrated because he feels that this stepdad's like, you know, taking over his son's life, and he's going to be more like him. And he's like, oh, but you know, if you learn to hunt and you keep hunting, then you'll always be a part of me with you. And obviously, the story of the movie is that by the end, maybe the son will grow to respect some of this, maybe, but more importantly, I think Brolin has to sort of learn that, oh, his son's going to have his own thing, he's going to have his new path, and so on. I do like Brolin. It doesn't look too bad. Not super into it though, I have to admit.
Nothing about it makes me want to watch it. But again, it's not offensively bad.
Yeah, I mean, Diane McBride's usually a negative for me, but when he's in something, mainly because he can't help but play almost the same character in everything he's ever been in.
He doesn't look quite as turned up to that character as usual.
He doesn't, no.
He's a bit more subdued.
Because there's a kid in it, it's suitable for kids, so he has to tone it down. But yeah, there's a lot of them in the wilderness, and like Brolin getting frustrated because the kid seems quite smart and like has kind of an acquired taste for a kid of his age.
Yeah,
Because he starts talking about food that Brolin looks like, or Brolin's character specifically looks like he would never try, and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, it's nothing was jumping out at me, but maybe give the trailer a watch. As always, the links to the trailers are in the description, so you can have a look at them yourself.
And the upside is this is Netflix, so.
Was this a Netflix movie as well? I can't remember.
I think it was. Yes, it is.
Sounds right.
Just double check. So, if you really just stick it on and find out for yourself in a couple of weeks, I guess. I assume in a couple of weeks. I didn't actually catch the date.
Yeah, I think it was mid-July. So
July 6th, so next week.
Oh, there you go. So next up, speaking of sons and fathers having relationships and problems, trailer for a film called Beautiful Boy starring Steve Carell and Timothée Chalamet from
Call Me By Your Name.
There you go, that was the one. That was the big awards movie from last year.
It was, yes.
And it's actually based on like a memoir by like the people this is based on, this father and son, which actually kind of tells me that it's probably got a fairly happy ending, because if they ended up writing a memoir together about this.
You're assuming they wrote the memoir together and not one of them just wrote it as a way of dealing with whatever happened.
The phrasing in the trailer implied to me that they wrote it together, but I mean, I could be making a leap there. I could be making a leap, but I think the caption that came up saying, based on the memoir by this and this, I thought that's what it said, but I'm extrapolating that.
Joe, I'm looking at the description, based on the best-selling pair of memoirs from father and son.
There you go.
So it's not a joint one. They both did their own.
Well, given that the son in this has got a drug problem, it's about the father trying to like reach out to him and get to him and have a breakthrough. At the very least, maybe they might not be in talking terms anymore, but at the very least, the son maybe, if he's writing memoirs, I'm assuming that he's not quite the addict he was once upon a time.
You would assume.
You would assume. I mean, not that you can't write a book whilst you're high off your head, but
it's probably not very good.
Probably not very good. So. Yeah, it was very emotional. It looks like it's going to be one of these acting tour de forces where it's them like fighting, and because the opening scene in the trailer is like them at a diner, and the son almost just immediately starts assuming he's being judged, and all his dad wants to do is have breakfast with him and talk to him. Yeah. And clearly it's about him reaching out. He seems to have to go and track him down throughout the country because he's God knows where, doing what God knows what. So that's very much the trailer.
Yeah, no, it comes up with from the producers of, which usually is kind of meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
But it mentions 12 Years a Slave and Moonlight, and I can kind of see, okay,
this is it's in their wheelhouse. You can see the sort of the sad, heart-wrenching story at the center of this.
Yeah.
Although this at the very least seems like it's probably going to have a more positive ending.
Yeah.
So but hey,
no, I mean, I'd expect good acting if nothing else. Direction's hard to gauge in a trailer like this.
It is. Because obviously a movie like this probably has a very slow style, very slow pacing, and the trailer of course has to be cut up. So
yeah, the best you get a look at it is that extended conversation at the start, and it looks competent there at least.
Yeah, because sometimes I actually wonder with trailers if I almost wish some trailers, instead of like cutting together this like hyper reel of things, and like I almost wish some trailers would just be like, no, here's just like a scene.
Yeah.
Pick a scene that makes a point and gives you like a taste of the
I know
feeling.
I have seen that here or there.
Oh yeah, no, it does happen, but not often enough.
No, it's true. It could be done more. I think the problem is general audiences mustn't respond to that.
General audiences are idiots, though, so that's not.
I mean, that's true, but general audiences are also where they make most of their money.
Yeah, but that's the thing. General audiences, this is really demeaning here, but
this is going to sound so pretentious, isn't it?
General audiences will get used to it, and then it'll be okay. You just have to force them through it first, right? It's the same thing. They don't want to switch to HD from SD. You just make it impossible to buy an SD TV, and they're all in HD.
It sound like making a kid eat their vegetables.
That's exactly what it's like.
Do it, and eventually they'll do it.
Exactly. Like this is the thing. People who stretch their 4:3 images in their widescreen TV, people who won't watch black and white. No, you just have to force it down their throats until they give in, and they'll get used to it.
Oh God!
I will not tolerate such practices. So especially the stretching the 4:3 to fit the TV is just absolutely
not
madness to me.
Not watching something because it's black and white is moronic, but at least most of the time there's not an option to add colour.
That is true. That is true. If there was like a magic option in the TV that just added like color, but it looked like shit because it was just like generated.
Yeah, that'd be horrible. I mean, at least with the black and white, it's they watch it or they don't. Tough shit,
True,
right?
True.
4:3, they can actually ruin.
They can ruin. They can zoom, and even worse, they can stretch. I mean, like between the two, if it has to be one, I'll take the crop because at least the proportions are still right. But stretching, I can't be doing with that.
No, not at all.
Can't be doing with stretching. I'm also the asshole who, if I'm at someone's house and I'm like, these TV settings aren't quite right, I'm just going to go into the menu and turn off DNR and all the other shit I've got turned on.
Yeah, the one that always gets me is a guy when I went to like the girlfriend's parents' houses is the one that
It's always the in-laws. It's always the in-laws.
Yeah, it forces the extra frame. It tries to do the high frame rate thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the setting now, but I'm watching it and go, it's just regular TV. I'm like, this looks wrong. Why? How do you live with? Oh, and the worst was, like you say, they got used to it because they don't notice it.
Yeah, and then when you turn it back, they're like, "This looks weird now." It's like, no, this is correct.
This looks proper. This looks right.
Anyway, don't take too much of that to heart, but
but
don't do it. Yeah, don't do it. Basically, I have things set up properly. Anyway, I'll happily do an instructional video if you really want me to, folk. Anyway, so moving on to the next trailer, Our House, which is a horror movie, and we've got like this teen who is trying to revolutionize wireless electricity. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, is this set a little bit in the past? Because the first part of this is like, oh yeah, we imagine not needing to charge your phone by plugging it, charge the device and plug it. I'm like, I can do that already. I can stick my phone on a thing and it'll charge. I don't need to plug it in.
I've heard of these things. I don't actually use one, but yeah, I'm aware of them. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could just take it as but is that still contact? This doesn't even require contact.
I mean, fine. I guess. I mean, I guess the difference is this is not even needing the plug, right? It's just. It would just charge my phone, just wherever it was.
Yes.
But, I mean, I feel like they...
Call me crazy. I don't like the idea of what it's doing to my testicles if there's all this electricity just flying through the air.
Yeah, I mean, you keep your phone in a pocket next to them, so...
And I put it in the back, in the ass.
Oh, prime to get it stolen.
Nah.
It's infinitely easier to steal out of a back pocket. It's just a fact.
You say I should put it in the front so I get at least a little bit of groping action.
No, because the difference is front pockets are tighter to your leg, whereas a back pocket it's really easy with a bump into you to just nudge it out because they don't tuck in as much. They're much looser. It's just a fact. But I mean,
you haven't felt my pocket when I'm wearing it. You don't know.
I mean, maybe you're wearing jeans just 2 sizes too small. How do I know?
I mean, honestly, I just find it easier to get in and out myself from the back pocket,
right,
which is why I like it. It wasn't so much the testicle reason in the first place, although
if it's easier for you, it's definitely easier for someone else.
yeah, but I mean, I'm not someone who has the hottest, trendiest new phone. I don't care.
What you say is you don't give a shit if your phone gets stolen.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll get a new one. It's whatever. Anyway, what was talking about? Yeah, so our house, and the kid's parents die in a car crash or something like that, and it's then like it's a kind of a typical supernatural haunting movie where it's like, oh, they think the parents are back in the house, but it's probably something evil. The plot isn't really doing a whole lot for me. What I did like about the trailer a little bit though, I liked it kept going back to the mechanical clock and the sort of the click as that was changing.
That like section, it was about maybe 20 seconds or so in the middle. Had a real pace to it, didn't it? It had a beat, and it was like, okay, yeah, I'm getting into this trailer here. Yeah,
that was a good trailer. Once like the girl sees the ghost or whatever coming towards her, I was like, okay, this is just kind of typical generic.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look anything unique either.
But the trailer was a pretty decent trailer, and it did have that section where it felt like it had a really good pace. It made the whole thing feel like it's probably going to have a sort of ticking sense of dread in the movie itself. At least that's what I'd hope. I'd hope if that's how they're presenting it in the trailer, that's how
you get that like strobe-like spinning. When they're trying to do their experiment. I'm like, okay, I can see using that with the clicking of the clock to create a really nice pace effect.
And there's no, assurance that just because there's some nice elements in the trailer, it'll carry over into the movie. But it does at least fill me with the idea that even if it's a generic story, the director might handle the suspense well.
You'd hope, yeah.
That's what it implies to me. So, I'll say this one kind of breaks even slightly into the positive for me in terms of interest.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it doesn't necessarily make me really want to see the movie. But...
Yeah, like, I mean, we don't rate trailers, but I'd be giving it like a 6. Like, it's just breaking into the positive.
Yeah, it's a decent trailer.
Yeah.
Which is, the first step to getting a...
Hey, to be fair, I mean, me and Tim will have to do it in streams, and, like, I don't dread this one. There's many a thing we do that I dread.
Yeah, this definitely looks better than your usual shite. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Next up, we have Juliet Naked, which is Rose Byrne, Ethan Hawke, and you got what's the IT crowd? What's his name?
Chris O'Dowd.
Thank you, Chris O'Dowd. Chris O'Dowd's married to Rose Byrne. They live in England, and he's obsessed with this rock star who was big like 20 years ago and didn't do anything for 20 years. And then he just suddenly released a new album, and their marriage isn't in a great place. He's kind of this miserable sod who, basically once this new album's coming out, he's basically giving her shit. It's like, I can't be with someone who doesn't understand how sort of a big deal this is. Don't belittle this.
Yeah.
But she ends up puts like a little stupid review online to just tease the husband, and this rock star Ethan Hawke sees it and responds to her, and they start basically chatting on the internet. And then eventually he's like, "Oh, I'm going to be in London. Do you want to meet up and just have a drink or whatever?" And it becomes kind of a romantic comedy of like, she's kind of like not happy with her husband, and now this irony is that the guy he was obsessed with is kind of the guy who she actually likes, and they're probably going to end up together by the end of the movie. Who knows? And there's some little jokes that are here or there that are amusing. I wouldn't say funny, but amusing.
It looks like a perfectly fine rom-com.
Yes, which means I'll probably not bother seeing it, but
it means I may get dragged to it, but. Maybe not. We'll see.
I mean, I like Ethan Hawke. I like Chris O'Dowd. I like Rose Byrne. I like the people involved.
I mean, it's usually a good start, right? I know. Yeah. I said the book was from the same author as About a Boy, which I am quite a fan of. I thought it was quite a good movie.
Yeah, it was About a Boy and another one, but you could tell the tone immediately from that. I was like, okay, right, okay. I know the style this is going with then. So. Yeah,
definitely.
You can go for it. I actually have seen About a Boy, believe it or not. It's not the sort of thing I've seen usually.
It's not. Did you enjoy it?
I think it was fine. I didn't particularly like it, but I didn't detest it either. It was just kind of a 6. It was like it functioned.
Give it not the audience. I guess that's reasonably positive.
Yeah, and Hugh Grant's a hard thing to like. It's very hard to find him likable. He's a bit of a prick.
He kind of is. I don't understand why everyone seems to love him.
I don't think everyone does seem. I think it's actually more of like a mix of. I mean, some people may love him, but I think there's a lot of people who just love taking the piss out of him.
Fair enough.
I get that impression. But yeah, so that's Juliet Naked. Next up, we had the trailer for The Hate You Give, with the U spelt with just the letter U. It's based in a book. Very topical. This is about a teenage girl, a black teenage girl, who's sort of. Her romance that's just kind of starting with this guy, and the guy, they get pulled over by the police and he gets shot during the incident. And it seems to be like she's kind of this she goes to this preppy like white school essentially, like
basically because she told the trailer starts by her going through the area and why they won't move because it's where all their people are is how they put it.
Yeah,
like all these local places.
Yeah, because she knows everyone by name. She knows who owns the store, who owns the barbers, who owns the whatever. Like so she knows everyone. It's a really tight community, but her parents don't want to go. The
school's kind of awful.
The school's kind of awful. I've never set a foot in there. So they send her to this private school, and she says, in the trailer, in the narration, she says, "Oh, I hate, I always have to make no one think I'm from, quote unquote the ghetto, and I hate that I have to do that." So it says
kind of except at the weekend.
Yeah, but you get the themes of the movie. Okay, so we're dealing with kind of how she deals with racism herself and the trapping she's in, and then it gets to obviously the police shooting, and you're like, okay, this is ramping up. This is what it's going to be about. Very topical, of course. And I have to imagine that this being greenlit was probably heavily inspired by the news of the last couple of years, and It's about her kind of speaking out after what happens, and sort of her being a part of protests, and her mother being kind of scared about her being parts of protests, and being scared that she's putting herself out there. So, like, because on the one hand, it's not like her mother disagrees with what she's saying. It's just, I don't want you being out there in harm's way yourself, and I don't want you putting yourself in danger. But her father seems to be a bit more encouraging and saying, no, like, you've got a voice, use it. You know, 'cause actually, I like the end of the trailer when he's like, you know, I didn't call you Star for no reason, like, because her name's Star with 2 R's.
Yeah.
The second R is a bit pretentious, I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah, it is a bit.
Yeah, it looks like it's a solid movie of what it is. I don't know if it's something that inherently screams to me as like that I'd be dying to go see. You know, it looks like a very serious drama, and it looks like it may handle its topic very well.
It's the sort of movie that I can see myself throwing on at home at some point, but I'm very unlikely to go to the cinema for.
It's sort of thing where if it gets a lot of buzz maybe around Oscar season and I'm working through the Oscar movies, like that's the sort of thing that when I'd watch stuff like this.
It's exactly that, you know, end of year, early next year sort of period where you're going through the backlog.
I think the title is good, except I do hate the fact that it's the letter U.
Yeah, I do too.
If it was just the regular word U, I think it's a great title. But the capital U bugs me. What can I say? But no, it looks fine. It looks fine.
Yeah.
So next up, we get a new trailer for Assassination Nation, and we don't typically always bring back second trailer. Oh, well, we did it with the Predator, of course, because that felt like it actually revealed more of the movie and the plot.
It was a teaser and then a full trailer, so it makes sense.
But Assassination Nation had like a minute-long teaser several months ago, which we did on the movie news back when the trailers were part of that show. And this was another minute-long or so trailer, and this one, it's still very mysterious as to what actually the plot's going to be, but this one is basically a minute of, oh, here's some trigger warnings for what this movie's going to be, and it's basically saying, yeah, we're going to tackle all these topics. There's going to be violence, there's going to be bullying, there's going to be homophobia, there's going to be swearing, there's going to be sex and nudity and drugs, and it goes through about 50 things.
Yeah.
And then it ends with the narrator who's saying this, and it's like we saw in the first trailer. It's a teenage girl with katanas on her back, with the smoke behind her, and I'm like, I'm still oddly into this, and I still have no idea.
It's got such style and tone and balls in its marketing, right?
Yes.
And I think that's what makes it stand out. Like maybe this movie doesn't come together. Maybe it's a mess at the end.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think the style is what's pulling me in here. Which arguably is what The Hate You Give is kind of lacking for me, is that, it's doing all these great things about the topic, but there's not a lot of style that's pulling me in.
Yeah, like this one, it claims it's going to deal with all these subjects. I don't know how much it's going to actually deal with them.
No, I'm sure they'll all pop up for a scene, and that's why they can say it like this. But
yeah, pretty much.
Because I think the point is that she's going to be some kind of avenging vigilante or whatever.
Yeah.
And these are just all examples of what's around her that she's dealing with.
Yeah, like I say, I'm kind of unsure still as to what this movie is, but I'm more excited for this than I am most of the other things we've talked about today, because I want to see more of this based on these teasers that we've had. Like, I'm like, okay, show me what you got. Prove to me that you've got the style to back up these teasers.
Speaking of, last trailer this week is a film called Mandy, starring Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And
that's his style.
Style is what it is oozing.
It is oozing style. In fact, at one point, one of the quotes that comes up from like a critic or whatever is unapologetically like someone's vision or something like that. I can't remember the exact phrasing, but that was what it said. And so it seems to be like a bit of a, I don't want to say like post-apocalyptic. I don't actually think it is, but it's got this vibe where this gang feels like a post-apocalyptic gang in present day, maybe even cultish in a way, but they're bikers, and there's lots of shots in the trailer of them in their spiky jackets with lots of red like light and smoke around them as they're riding. Yeah. It's like super, it feels like, it's hyper stylized, and you've got Nicolas Cage, who seems to be out for vengeance after this character Mandy is kidnapped. It seems like
this might be perfect for Nicolas Cage.
It might be.
This might be exactly what you do with a man of his unique talent.
I mean, I don't know if it's more perfect than Bad Lieutenant. This might be the perfect second choice for Nicolas Cage. I'll have to wait until I see it before I make that choice.
Yeah.
But it seems to be Nicolas Cage getting more nuts. But around him getting nuts and going out for this vengeance or trying to save this Mandy, there's all this stylized, hyper-real nonsense. And even the villain has got this kind of like soft-spoken, creepy, like the leader of this gang vibe. Yeah. And then the movie, or the trailer ends rather, with so Nicolas Cage, like he's been on the rampage and he pulls out a chainsaw, a regular sized chainsaw, and then the villain, who again is very Mad Max kind of looking, pulls out this chainsaw with a blade that's about 6 foot long.
Yeah.
So there's a chainsaw duel, but the bad guy's got a blade that's like there's never been a chainsaw this size. This was custom made for the movie. No one had a chainsaw this long.
It's so. I mean.
But Nicolas Cage, of course, just screams at him and charges ahead anyway because he's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. I think I want to read some of the quotes that there were.
Oh, go on.
The one that you were talking about was a totally uncompromising vision.
Oh, is that uncompromising vision?
Yeah, there's one that says, Nicolas Cage gives the performance of a lifetime.
That's bold.
That is bold. But it might be true based on this. I'm like, oh man, this is... another one is insanely violent and ethereally beautiful.
Yeah, well...
I'm kind of getting that tone.
This will definitely be reviewed. I'm not sure what show it'll be reviewed on. I mean, I know Tim's jazz for it, so it might be a Screams movie. And it's kind of horror-like. It's not super horror, but it's definitely got this dark horror vibe to it.
Yeah. I mean, Tim can be on a Jigowatts if it ends up being a Jigowatts.
He can be, yeah. He can be.
You were kind of a bit unsure on the setting. The description does give you a little bit more.
Oh, go
on. Pacific Northwest, 1983 AD. Yes, it makes a point of saying AD.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
It mentions a cult led by the sadistic Jeremiah Sand. A journey filled with bloody vengeance and laced with fire.
There is nothing I don't like about this.
Yeah.
There's actually nothing I don't like about this. Okay.
It looks insane, but kind of maybe special. Here you go. Exists in its own supremely unnerving horror dimension.
Oh, yeah, that sounds right. I got that vibe from it. This was a trailer that Tim, as soon as it went up, messaged me excitedly saying, "Holy shit, this Mandy trailer, you have to watch this." Like, that was like immediately, that was Tim. He was that excited about it. He didn't even do that with like the Halloween trailer.
I mean, I guess part of that is he knew you would watch the Halloween trailer immediately anyway.
Like, I can't remember the last time he was like, "Hey, you need to watch this trailer, Pierre. You need to watch this trailer. This is a thing we need to do."
Yeah. It's kind of just... I've not seen anything like it in quite a while. I can say that quite safely.
It's playing to my sensibilities. So with that, we go to the picking the favourite trailer of the week, and let's be honest here, it's going to be between Mandy and Assassination Nation.
It is, because I was like, this is kind of a pretty poor week as I was going through them. I'm like,
nothing's jumping out. They're all kind of fine, but not standouts.
Yeah, nothing was getting me excited.
And then you get to these last two.
Yeah, and I love it. It's going to be Mandy for the trailer.
It is, yeah. I agree. I feel like if Assassination Nation gave me a little bit more, it might have swayed me. But this, like, Mandy was such an extreme style drop on me, mixed with Nicolas Cage phrases, with genuinely interesting visuals. Now, the plot doesn't sound that, like, different or unique. It just sounds like...
It's got style, right?
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
That's what it sold me on. It sold me on how I'm going to feel when I'm watching that movie.
I think I'm... If Assassination Nation can back up its trailers, I might enjoy that movie more.
That may be a better film, but Mandy might be the better movie, if that makes any sense.
Better experience.
And also, if Nicolas Cage at no point in that film starts singing, "Oh Mandy," I will be really upset. Which was Angel's favourite song on Angel, which was the spin-off of the hit television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer, for the record.
So close to the end. Nearly made it.
Well, yeah. Hey, I even mentioned Joss Whedon earlier, and I saved it for this.
Yeah, you knew you were doing this, didn't you?
So that is this week's trailer talk from 1.21 Jigowatts. By all means, let us know what your favourite trailers of the week were in the comments, like and subscribe and all that stuff. Get us on patreon.com/MailFuzzTV if you want to support the channel and everything we do and keep us going. You get bonuses over there. The first 121 Extra, which is an exclusive Patreon show, will be up in the next couple of days over at Patreon. We're talking about aspect ratios, exciting. But there's also other stuff, and obviously I always like to promote something else as well that's going up in the channel. So 121 Overload is about to go up on Patreon tomorrow, and then it'll be up for the public next week in a week's time. Me and Matt talked about a movie called Coherence, and it is a delightful little low-budget science fiction film, which happens to star Nicholas Brendon from the hit television show for the Vampire Slayer.
I'm intrigued to see whether or not Matt hated it, or just I know he was kind of broken by the end. Given some reactions he mentions, but I don't know if he liked it or not. So that'll be something for me to find out.
I won't reveal. I shall let people watch the review itself and they can find out Matt's feelings on it. But it is a little twisty-turny puzzle of a film about alternate realities. So do check that out. Do check out the movie, because I picked it because I was the one who loved it. Because that's the way Overload works, if you don't know that show, is that me and Matt every month pick a film that one of us loves. So I pick a film I love, he picks a film he loves, and we put it up to a vote on Patreon. And that's one of the perks that Patreon gets, is they get to vote on that. And Coherence won, so that's why we did that. So that's going up tomorrow for patrons, and it's going up on for everyone else a week later. So there you go. But hey, so that's us. So thank you once again for watching and listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching movies and all that stuff. I need a catchy outro for the trailer talk. I need some sort of line, or at least I should have something for the movie shows like I do for the TV with the vanilla line.
Yeah, you just need something to stick it, because that came about because it came up in something and it stuck.
It was natural, and I liked it so much that we just kept using it. I don't have a catchy movie outro yet.
No, you don't. Need to watch more movies that give us something. But you don't want something that everyone uses as a quote.
Since this is a trailer show, I feel like I should have some sort of variation of like the trailer voice, like in a world, like, you know.
I mean, you could, but that died out, thankfully.
Yeah, people still use it though to talk about trailers though. It's still a thing.
They do. It's only used as a joke now though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I can only say in a world. Anything. I can say in a world full of action and wonder. Like I'm not that good at it, but like I don't know. I'm trying to think of something specific to trailers, like a trailer related like pun or joke I can make at the end.
No, I know, but I'll have to have a think about it for next week.
I mean, I could say like, yeah, it always says coming soon or in theaters this day or whatever. I mean, I could just say, something like, cheesy, like coming soon to a theater from beyond or something. I don't know, something cheesy, silly.
You were getting on the right train, and then you just completely came off the tracks at the
I
end.
like that more than the previous thing. I don't know what you were talking about. I think I'm getting warmer.
No, the first part of that idea you were.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's something smarter than From Beyond.
Yeah, I should really bloody hope so.
Oh, we could tie it in, because we're called 121 Gigawatts. I could tie it into Back to the Future and say, coming soon to a theatre near you on November 5th, 1955. Or something, I don't know. That's a bit wordy though.
Way too long.
Yeah, it's a bit too long. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.